My layout's looking pretty simple, so I want to add some little accents. So I want to see how it would look if I put a couple of heart accents in here. So I'm going to use the Insert tab here, and one of my options is Shapes. It's 2 to the right of Picture. I click on the shapes and look at this menu that pops up. All these different shapes that you could put right into your document. So I'm going to use a heart, so I come down here into Basic Shapes, and there's a heart. I click it, and again I get the crosshatch just like I did for the text box, and I draw a heart, and again I'm just holding down with the left button, and I draw a heart whatever size I want it to be. And actually I think it would look super cool to have a second heart right next to it. So I'm going to go up to Shapes again, and this time it's in Recently Used since I just used it, and I just click and I add a second heart. Now, I think it would be kind of nice to tilt those a little bit. I don't like them just straight up and down. So if you see, when I'm clicked on the shape, just like when I'm clicked on a picture, it gives me those guideline balls and squares around the outside. And this green thing at the top here is something I can grab to rotate it. So when I've got that little arrow kind of positioned around it, I press down with my left button on the mouse, and then I just drag it wherever I'd like it to go, and you can see the outline of where it's tilting to. And I'm going to do the same thing with this guy. I'm going to tilt him a little bit in that direction. So that looks a little less symmetrical and precise. Okay, now I'd like those to be a certain color, so just like I did when I was doing the picture and the text box, I can adjust the color by going up here to the drawing tools, the Shape Fill and Shape Outline. This time I want the shape and the outline to be the same. So the first one here, I guess I'm going to make him, I'll make him kind of a dark blue. And I want the outline dark blue as well, so I'll choose that same color twice. And the little guy, I'm going to make him green. So I'm going to choose green, and I'm going to change his outline to green also. Okay? I'm feeling that the right side of my layout looks a little unbalanced with the nice color over there. So I'm going to actually add another shape in, and this one, same place, Insert, Shapes, and this one's going to be a rectangle. Now it looks like it's a horizontal rectangle, but it just means anything with that kind of straight size. You drag it to make it whatever size you want. So I'm going to make like a long, thin guy here along the whole edge. I don't want to cover up my mat, so I'm going to move that over. And again, I'm going to go up here with a Shape Fill. Let's make that one blue too, and the Shape Outline, and make him blue. And I notice that my margins here are a little bit off, so I'm going to take this in a little bit so it matches the other side. So you can see my margin is even all the way around. Okay, that looks pretty nice. What are we missing? I think we need a title. So for the title, we're actually going to use text boxes just like we did here for the journaling, but we're going to take out the background color so all that we will see are the words. So I'm going to insert a text box, go up here, I'm going to draw my text box just like I did before, and I'm going to put it right about there. It doesn't matter, I can move it. And then I want to type this one in. I go to Home to change my font. I want to type this in a pretty large font so people can read it. So I'm going to go all the way down here to 72. And I really like Century Gothic. So I'm going to make this Century Gothic, and I'm going to make it bold. And I think it would look great if it were green like that one heart there. So I type my letters, and at this point you can see the white background and the black edge. Let's take those away. Do you remember how to do it? We're going to go up to your text box tools, and then you get these options again. So Shape Fill, we don't want to fill it, so hit No Fill. Shape Outline, we don't want to outline, so hit No Outline. And now you just have your word that you can move around. Now I want to use 3 different words in my title, so I'm going to right-click right on the edge of that text box and hit Copy, and then I'm going to paste that. You can, go up here and go do the paste this way, or I always use Control-V. Okay, and I want to change this word to favorite. So I just clear that out and type something else. And I want it to be a different font and larger. So I highlight the entire word, go up to the top here, and 72 is the largest option it gives you, but you can actually manually type it in. Just highlight 72 and type over it. I'm going to choose 100. And this one is going to be, I'm going to choose the elephant font. I think that would look pretty cool. Okay, now my bottom is cut off, so I just pull down the little bit of the box there, and I want this word to be blue, so I highlight it and I change the color. Okay, and then I want to have one more word down here, and so I'm going to just do Control V again because I still have copied that from earlier, so it just makes another, gives me another one of those, and I'm going to keep it green, but I want to change it to a larger font this time. So I'm going to write the word, highlight it, and then we'll change it to 100. And I'm going to keep that, and you have to hit enter, and I'm going to keep that in the Century Gothic font. Okay, and you're going to have to extend this so you can see the whole word. Okay, at this point, I could also, I think it might look cool, I'm looking at this and I'm designing this and I'm thinking, you know, I would really like to put a couple brads here. I wonder how that would look. You can see how that would look by just inserting a very tiny little circle, insert shape. Looks like an oval, but you're going to draw it. And I can even move it over a little bit to where I want it. Just use the arrows on your keyboard. And then how am I going to change the color? You know. I can, actually you can use Format Auto Shape to get to it, but we've just been using up here Shape Fill and Shape Outline. So I'm going to make those green. And I'm going to copy that guy and make another one. Paste it. And move him down. Well, that looks pretty nice to have two brads right there, and it represents the two boys in there. Okay, now, at this point you have some options. You can decide this is just a great kind of map for my layout, so I've kind of made a digital sketch of what I want to do, and now I'm just going to execute my layout. Or if you want to print different parts of that, you can do that pretty easily as well. All I do is this. I go up to the top and I say New. So click that gold button, click New. It'll give you a new blank document. And I just make it 8.5 by 11 because it's just going to be for my printing purposes. And I go back to the first one, and I'm going to right-click, which will allow me to copy then the two pictures. I'm copying that. Remember, they're grouped, so they come together. Go back over to this document, and I'm going to right-click and paste. And I can move these just like I did before. And then I can print these using my photo printer, or using my regular printer on a photo setting. Okay? So you could print your own photos right from your printer, making them exactly the size you're going to use on your layout. Or you can just note the size of them and make sure that you have cropped it to that size. You can do a similar thing. I'm going to get rid of that. You can do a similar thing with your journaling. If I had this entire journaling all typed up, I could right-click that, copy it, come over here, and paste it in. And you have the text box there, and again you could position it wherever you want to print it on that page. So I recommend that you use this either as a map, or if you have a printer that's wide enough that could print it off, you could print up just a paper copy, and you can use that as your template when you're cutting things out. As far as your title, you could use this as just an estimation, like a placeholder for where you're going to put some letter stickers or something like that. Or you could actually take this over to the other document and, you know, just kind of print it as is and cut it out, or whatever you'd like to do. Another thing you might want to do is you could print it on a transparency and then adhere it completely to your layout over the top of your other elements. So there is so much more that you can learn in Microsoft Word, but this is just a start. I've barely scratched the surface of what is possible in Microsoft Word, and I hope I didn't lose you at all, and if at least you got one little bit of information out of there that will help you with your scrapbooking, then I feel great. I'd love to tell you more about Microsoft Word, and maybe I'll get a chance to do that in subsequent videos. In the meantime, if you'd like to contact us here at Creating Keepsakes, we'd be happy to answer any of your questions. So get out there, get on your computer. Don't need any fancy program, don't need some steep learning curve. Just try a few of the little tricks I've taught you, and I think the possibilities are endless for scrapbooking with Microsoft Word.